Here you go, here you go. Someone pop blue, I'm popping blue.
Oh, yeah, pop blue. Really?
Back away from the med kit. Back away from the box. Back away from the box. You got him. Yeah, stay over, stay over. Let me empty the box.
Still on the
He's back up. Yeah, come back, come back, come back.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta put a combat medic on.
got
Over. Oh, a couple. Come up the stairs. These stairs. These stairs. These stairs.
come up again, dude.
Come up the stairs. Come up the stairs.
Man, dying and I died with elbow that Here's the green.
Oh! Yo, I got him. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today I'm bringing you guys another division video. Today is a build that I think you guys will enjoy. It's something different, something not meta, and I've been seeing a lot of people comment on my previous builds saying, oh, you're not showing any 1v1 gameplay, you're not showing this, you're not showing that. More people were shooting at that person than just you. That build doesn't really work. Well, guys, I'm just letting you know, there's also 100 more comments on there that are saying that, yo, I tried this build out, this build was amazing, and just like those builds, this build works just as good, and we'll get into it in just a second. Remember, if you guys are new to my channel, it's the first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you have any questions after watching this video, use the comment section down below. So let's get into the build, guys. So right off the bat, you're gonna see I'm running 5-piece alpha bridge and a Barrett's chest piece. Now my firearms is 7,172. That's primary firepower is 476,000. My toughness is 473,000. That's stamina 5,800. And my skill power is 97,000, and that's electronics of 2,961. So let's get into the reason why I'm running the 5-piece alpha bridge and what does it do for me. Well, set bonus 2 is gonna give me 100% health regen. Set bonus 3 is gonna give me 5% weapon damage. Set bonus 4, which is key with this build, if your primary and secondary weapon is of the same category, so that means if you're running 2 SMGs, 2 assault rifles, they share the free talent, and the free talent is the 3rd slot on any of your weapons. All talent requirements are ignored for the weapon talents, so that's really what makes this build so good. Set bonus 5 is going to give me an additional 10% weapon damage, so I'm going to have a total of 15% weapon damage, and then an additional 25% health regen on top of the 100% health regen I already get from set bonus 2, so that's 125% health regen. Now the reason why I don't choose to run set bonus 6 is because if I'm even running with one other person, my signature skills will not work. The Bear's Bulletproof Vest is going to give me a little bit more burst damage and a little bit more survivability, and we'll explain that in just a second. So if we go to the chest piece, we have the Bear's Bulletproof Vest. So what does this do and why am I running an exotic chest piece? No skills on cooldown increases my skill power by 10%. So as soon as I pop my first skill, the skill power will be reduced by 10%, and then I'll increase my damage by 5%. So that's why if you pop your booster shot and you only have one skill on cooldown, you're going to have that 15% weapon damage from the 5-piece alpha bridge, plus you're going to increase your damage by 5% because of the Bear's Bulletproof Vest. But as soon as you drop your immune box or whatever your second skill is, your 5% increased damage is going to go away, and then that's when you'll get your increased armor by 10%. And that's why this build is not only good for burst damage, and if you're getting focus fire and you have to use both of your skills to stay alive, you're also going to get that increased armor by 10%, and that makes a difference when you're in combat. Now the way I have this rolled is it's rolled firearms, the major attributes are health, exotic damage resilience, and then the minor attributes are ammo capacity. For the mods, I'm running stamina mods with 1% critical hit chance. For the mask, it's rolled stamina, the major attribute is 4% critical hit chance, and the minor attribute is 17% burn resistance. For the mods, they're firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance. For the knee pads, they're rolled stamina, the major attribute is health, the minor attributes are 30% disrupt resistance, 32% blind death resistance, and 31% burn resistance. So if I were to re-roll anything on the minor attributes, it would most likely be the blind death resistance for either shock resistance or bleed resistance. The mods I have on here are firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance, and then performance mod with 5% support station healing speed. For the backpack, it's rolled firearms. The major attribute is 8% critical hit damage. The minor attribute is 55% ammo capacity. Now I have ammo capacity on the chest piece and on the backpack, since with Alpha Bridge you're going to be using the same weapon twice, and a lot of times if you do go on long manhunts, you don't want to run out of ammo because you don't really have the ability to use your secondary since they're using the same type of ammo. So that's why having ammo capacity on my backpack and having ammo capacity on my chest piece are key for this build in the dark zone. The mods I have are firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance and the performance mod with 5% support station healing speed. For the gloves, the rolled firearms, they have critical hit chance, SMG damage, and critical hit damage. Now if I wanted to run 2 lightweight M4s or 2 LVOAs, I would change out the SMG damage for assault rifle damage. Now for the holster, the major attribute is critical hit chance, and on this build my goal was to put out as much burst damage as possible, so I'm stacking critical hit chance and critical hit damage, except on the knee pads I rolled health on there to give me a little bit more survivability and toughness. For the mods, I'm running performance mods with 5% support station healing speed. Now if you plan on running a booster shot more than you plan on running a disruptor, you might want to switch this out for 6% first aid self heal. If we look at my weapons, I have the house, it has 23% critical hit chance, the damage on here is 24.5k. The talents I'm running on here are deadly, critical hit damage is increased by 15%, responsive damage is increased by 10% when closer than 10 meters to the target. Now the reason I pair these two talents with this build is because I want to have as much burst damage as possible. Now the card counter, you guys know what that does. One half of the magazine does 20% increased damage, the half which deals increased damage flips after 15 seconds or when the magazine is empty. Now for the fourth talent that I have on my Navy MP5, so what you need to do is make sure the bottom talent on whatever secondary you have is the talent that you want to have on your primary, because that will be unlocked. So since I have Unforgiving on here, it's going to be unlocked on my house. So Unforgiving, missing health segments, increased damage, 1 missing segment is plus 10% damage, 2 missing segments is plus 25% damage. Now sometimes I take off Unforgiving on there and I do swap that out for Competent. So I do have another SMG that has Competent in the bottom slot, and what that does is weapon damage is increased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill. So if I want to have that initial burst damage and not really worry about Unforgiving triggering, then I'll put Competent on here, because every time I get into battle and I keep popping my pulse or I keep dropping my immune station, I'm going to have Competent kick in for 15 seconds, and 15 seconds is a long time. So it really just depends if you want to have that 10% damage most of the time, or you want to have the ability to have Unforgiving, which is going to give you 10% when you're under that 1 missing segment, and then you're going to get an additional 15%, so a total of 25% if you're missing 2 segments. And that's why having Unforgiving on here really makes a big difference. So it's really up to you if you want to have Unforgiving on there or if you want to have Competent. Some guys run other talents, but those are the main 2 talents that I like swapping out, either Unforgiving in my bottom slot or I'll have Competent on there. Now the way I have this modded is I'm running a pro red dot sight with 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 2.5 critical hit chance. I have a loud vent break with 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, 3% critical hit chance, a small grip with 19% critical hit damage, 2.5 stability, and 5% reload speed. And then I have an extended magazine with 113% magazine size, 3% critical hit chance, and 5.6 rate of fire. So the way I have my secondary, I'm not going to break it down. I would have it modded the same way as I have my house. I don't even use my Navy MP5. My house does all the work, and then if I need to, I'll swap to my Navy MP5 to finish off a guy. The talents I have on here are responsive, the same as on the house. I have self-preserve. Critical hits with this weapon heal the user for 3% of the damage dealt, and then of course Unforgiving, which unlocks on my house. Now for the skills, I primarily run with the booster shot because I want to have that burst damage, and what a booster shot does is it temporarily increases your damage and damage resistance for the affected targets in addition to the normal healing effect. Now this is only going to heal me for 44,000, but if I run those 6% first aid self heals throughout this build, it's going to be a lot more. So that's why if you want to have something that has a bigger heal out of your booster shot, you want to run those 6% first aid self heals. But on this build, you saw that I had the 5% support station healing speeds, and that'll work with my immune box. Now when I explode the immune box, it's going to heal me the same whether I have those mods on there or not. Now if I'm not running a booster shot and I'm with a team, I like running a disruptor, especially since it works really good with strikers. For the talents, I like running adrenaline. Medkits now give 7 seconds of immunity from status effects, which is great for a predator's mark and those flame turrets for not catching you on fire or getting that predator mark bleed. I also run critical save 95% of the time, using medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. If I'm solo, I'm going to run strike back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. Now if I'm in a group, I'll switch that for combat medic. Use a med kit near allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. Now, the other talent I like running is precision. Headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. Now, if we do have somebody in my group that's running a pulse, I'll swap that out and I'll run strike back instead. If we go to my character, you're going to see my critical hit chance is 50%. So I only need 10% to get maxed out on this build. That's why if I hit a headshot with precision, I'm going to get that 60% critical hit chance. Now, if somebody on my team is running a pretty decent pulse, I'm also going to max out every time they hit the pulse. So that's why 50% critical hit chance is really good on this build. Critical hit damage is 120%. My headshot damage is 62%. My max health is 319,000. My armor mitigation is almost maxed out, but this build is not fully optimized. So the armor mitigation is at 32.59%. My exotic damage resilience is a little low at 11%, but I'm choosing to stack that extra critical hit chance on the mask since now there is somewhat of a counter to Predator's Mark with adrenaline and then being able to stay in your immune box. Now my bleed resistance is at 0%. I would like to have this up a little bit. My blind death resistance, which I really don't like having on any of my builds, is at 32%, but I don't want to focus on re-rolling any of those at this time. My burn resistance is 48%. My disorient resistance is 0%. My disrupt resistance, which I like having on builds, is at 30%, and that's great for that disruptor or for those EMP grenades. And then I would like to have some kind of shock resistance since a lot of people do like running shock turrets. But yeah, this is how I run my Alpha Bridge in the Dark Zone. You guys should definitely take a look at this build. Now remember guys, Striker is still the most powerful build in the division. Now there are other builds you can use that can compete with the Striker. So Striker isn't the only build you can run. The Banshee build that I put out a while back works really good in the Dark Zone. The Ninja Bike backpack I put out works really good in the Dark Zone, and you can run that in Last Stand and Skirmish. And then of course you can also run this one. All these builds aren't the best. They take a lot more skill to use, and that's why I personally like running them. I showed you at the beginning of this video, it was me running an Alpha Bridge with the Baird's Bulletproof Vest, and then G was running a Ninja Bike backpack build, and we survived pretty good, and we had about 6, 7, 8 guys chasing us, and we were dropping players here and there. So it is possible to do well with these builds. Now, will you survive long manhunts without a healer? Probably not, guys, because this build is so hard to play. It takes a lot more skill than using Striker. Yes, Striker is still the most powerful build in the game. I just want to put that out because I get a lot of comments. People say, oh, Striker's still the best. Well, of course, Striker's still the #1 PvP build. I never said any build was better than it. I did come out and say some of these builds do have more burst damage, more raw damage before the Striker build to stack, and you can compete with Striker with these builds. Now, will you always beat a Striker? No, you won't always beat any player you play. It just depends on if they get the drop on you, if there's no lag. There's a lot of things that go into PvP, and I hope you guys enjoyed these build videos that aren't the meta. I'm going to keep trying to bring you guys different builds that I'm having fun with in the Dark Zone, and that you guys see me live on stream playing. I do play all these non-meta builds live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/nothing-but-skills, and that way you guys can make your own personal opinion on if this build works or if the build doesn't work, because I play these builds. I was running Alpha Bridge, I was running Ninja Bike backpack builds, I was running Banshee. I've been running non-meta builds for about 2 weeks on my stream, so you guys can go back to my streams and watch them if you want. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to get away from running meta builds. I've been trying to not to use Striker, so definitely go check out my streams when I am live, so that way you guys can enjoy that. If you guys have any questions, use the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. And as always, if you don't see me in Last Stand, if you don't see me in Skirmish, if you don't see me in the Dark Zone, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills out.